Abandon all hope, ye who enter JANTE'S Inferno. What's up, it's Jan, back at it again with another nerdy bookish video. This is gonna be the readathon announcement for round 2 of JANTE'S Inferno. Upon semi-popular demand from my patrons, they have voted on JANTE'S Inferno being a thing for yet another year. Maybe this will be a yearly thing. It is kind of late. It's currently January 15th as I'm filming this, and the readathon is gonna go from February 6th to the 16th. It's a 10-day readathon. I just tried to get as many 6s in the dates as I could because JANTE'S Inferno is obviously wordplay on Dante's Inferno, and it's based on the 9 circles of hell. Hell, 666, you know. Also, this is my face washing headband, and I thought it'd be quite fitting. If you weren't around for last year's, basically you start at the bottom, the core of hell. The objective is to escape hell by the end of the 10-day readathon. I changed up a few of the prompts from last year, but there are a couple that stayed the same. God, I know I'm gonna forget some rules, so if you have any questions, just leave them in the comments down below. I have the prompts and templates and everything in a Google Drive shared link. Also, it will be in the description down below. And okay, so there are gonna be 9 prompts, 1 for each circle of hell, obviously. You can double up, but only 2 consecutive ones. So you can double up circle 9 and 8, circle 8 and 7, 7 and 6, 6 and 5. There's an exception for the first one because the last circle of hell, or the first circle of hell, if that makes sense. Like the last one before you escape, you can't double up. But otherwise, it has to be 2 consecutive ones. You can't double up with circle 9 and 5, for example, or circle 8 and 6. Can't do that. They have to be consecutive, so one following the other. Tag me on everything on Instagram. I'll try to repost as many as I can. I don't have a separate Instagram or anything for my readathons, so my stories do get a little bit packed during my readathons. So I try to share as many as I see. I am on sleep mode throughout the day. For most of the day, I check periodically, but I don't get notifications throughout the day just for my mental health. In terms of sprints, I'll maybe do one on Patreon, maybe if I'm feeling bold, you know. I told myself I wouldn't host anymore, but lately, now that I'm on anxiety meds, it's been helping, but I'm still not hosting public sprints like ever. Patreon sprints might happen, otherwise definitely Discord sprints I always host, but this is a public readathon. Anyone can participate, anyone can tag me and stuff on Instagram, and it's just a fun little February thing to do to bring us together as a community, one way or another. In hell. Okay, let's just get on into the prompts. Here's the graphic this year. To avoid confusion that I was getting last year, I did finally put start here at the bottom and then had an arrow pointing up because last year people were confused. It just made sense to me to do it this way instead of the other way around because like the deeper into hell you go, the lower you go, obviously. So now we have a clear capitalized start here sign at the bottom of this graphic. The 9th circle of hell, I have my handy dandy laptop here to help me out. It's treachery, and it says Satan is imprisoned in ice from the waist down in the very center of circle 9, displayed as a trophy of treachery. Treachery means like betrayal and stuff, right? So the first prompt for the 9th circle of hell is to betray your physical TBR. This means that you read any other format, or you borrow from someone else's shelves, or you borrow from your local library, which is probably what I would do. That goes along with using the Libby app or Hoopla or whatever you use for ebooks or audiobooks, just any format slash source that's not your own shelves. So that's your physical TBR, if you didn't know, is your shelves of books that you own. The next one is a book with a dark cover for circle 8, which is fraud. Souls are thrown into a pit of darkness, endlessly beaten and tortured by demons. So the darkness goes with the dark cover. Yeah, that one's pretty straightforward. Circle 7 is a book with violence because circle 7 is for violence. Those who possessed a thirst for violence are condemned to drown in a lake of boiling blood. So violence could mean anything. Again, pretty straightforward. Thriller, horror, probably violence at some point. I mean, you could even read a romance with, this is so dark, but like with some sort of toxic relationships, endless possibilities. And fantasy with war scenes and battles and stuff, there's violence there. So these are very versatile prompts, if you couldn't tell. Circle 6, heresy. Souls are entrapped in a flaming pit guarded by demons for those who attempt to escape. So for this one, it's the same as last year. I put a hot pick to represent the flames that the souls are trapped in. And this just means a popular or trending book. Books that you see constantly over and over again on any social media platform, books that you keep hearing about, books that just came out. I think last year was like a new release or popular book. New releases count too, whatever. The next one I changed up this year for Circle 5, and that's Anger. An endless battle of wailing souls takes place on a murky swamp. So I wanted to do something with swamp, but I couldn't think of anything other than like Shrek stuff. But this one is read a book with a conflict in the synopsis that intrigues you. I'm not one to read synopses, to be honest. Like, I love going into books blindly and I just look for buzzwords and whatever, but sometimes those buzzwords include the conflict. It could be, you know, enemies to lovers, the enemy is the conflict. It could be in like romances, you can skim the synopsis really quickly and see if the potential third act breakup or whatever conflict they have, like, oh, she has to move back to her small town. Like, that's a conflict I love. In horror, if you look at the synopsis and it says like, oh, someone has to like fight demons or figure out if this is a ghost or not or whatever, those are conflicts that could be intriguing. Okay, I'm trying really hard here. Hopefully that makes sense. The next one is Circle 4 for Greed. The souls of greed are consumed in a pit of smelting gold as they claw their way to escape, only to be swept back into the pit. Last year I had Book You Bought recently, but I know some people don't even buy books, so I changed it to Book You Acquired recently. So hopefully that helps. Again, pretty straightforward. Next, we have Circle 3 for Gluttony. Because of their cold nature, the souls of gluttony suffers the coldness of ceaseless icy rain. So this, I just put food or beverage on the cover or title. That one's pretty easy. Circle 2 is Lust. The soul's lust are endlessly blown and spiraling in the winds of a violent storm. Read a book that's a 5-star prediction. Fairly easy as you get closer to escaping hell. That was the goal here. Like I said, the last one, Circle 1, is Limbo. The souls of pagans and the unbaptized wander the caves of limbo in loneliness with a desperation to meet God. I just like took that idea of desperation and said like, oh, okay, one more book until I escape. So you have to read one more book, any book. Could be a short story, a novella, a graphic novel, any book, but you can't double up with Circle 2. It has to be the solo book, your last ditch effort to get out of hell. Those are all the prompts. The templates are linked down below. I'll have them on my highlights too. Is it readathons or templates? One of those highlights on my Instagram profile. Follow me on Instagram if you haven't already. That's always linked down below. I'll definitely be vlogging. Obviously, I'll probably separate it into 2 vlogs, maybe possibly, or not. Maybe just one huge long vlog. So yeah, February 6th to the 16th. I'll see y'all in hell. Oh, speaking of that catchphrase, I do have merch for JANTE'S Inferno. It's gonna be the same as last year. One says see y'all in hell. Another one says abandon all hope ye who enter JANTE'S Inferno. And it says established 2024. That just means it was created in 2024. So that established really makes it a timeless piece. So yeah, merch store, merch links are always down below as well. I don't know when I'm gonna make new merch. I've been playing around with new designs. I just can't decide on any. We're gonna stick with last year's. Yeah, I always forget to talk about merch. If you want to join sprints at any capacity, Patreon links down below. I hope you have fun with this. February is one of my favorite months, so I'm excited to be doing this with y'all again. I hope it's a fun time. I hope it's fairly stress-free. Let me know if you have any questions. If you made it to the end of this video, put any red emoji in the comments down below. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know if you're planning on participating. Don't forget to do some self-care today. Hope you have a 5-star day, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.